everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the SITREP or summary for the day of 27 to 30th, 230, sorry, for the 2nd to the 5th of November. And this is also pretty recent until as 6th of November, because I didn't really see much significant information until this point as per the recording. So probably there will be more, but just take this as 2 to 5th, as I didn't see any significant information. So the Ukrainian forces over the past 3 days actually have attacked in multiple directions, and most significantly is actually this dildo that have entered all the way nearing the coastal area. This has been confirmed by satellite imaging. They're getting nearer and nearer to the coastal area, and reports from the Hamas side has already reported that they are fighting south of Tal el-Hawa, so in the southwestern part of Gaza City. So this is Gaza City, and currently fighting is ongoing in this area here, and there are certain mapping that shows that Israeli forces have seemingly reached all the way to the coast. That is not true. I haven't seen credible information to show that the Israeli have reached the coast, but there are weird information previously talking about fighting in the west of Gaza or in the northwest of Gaza City. Northwest is actually over here, which is most likely unlikely to be there. But most likely what is happening is that they are fighting towards northwestern part, but they are not going to get through just yet, as the Hamas forces are giving them a very, very good fight. So while the Israeli are pushing towards the coast, they are also attacking towards the southwestern part of Gaza City and towards the south of Gaza City. They are pushing in multiple directions, and the Hamas forces are actually attacking from the rear, trying to cut them off from this area in the Johor ad-Dik. I should pronounce them properly. Johor ad-Dik. Johor ad-Dik. So no, don't eat the dick. So anyway, so the Hamas so Israeli forces are basically moving along where it is actually more convenient to move, which is actually the less built up area to do this push. They are also pushing over in the area of Beit Hano, and there is information from Hamas sources saying that they are inside Beit Hano, and then they are also attacking in the northwestern part of Beit Lahia and the western part of Beit Lahia, and also in this area here, in the area north of Jabalia. There is certain information about certain intelligence being recovered by the Israeli forces at Jabalia. I'm not sure where the location of this HQ that they raided is, so that is a bit unusual, but I saw it from the IDF information, and also fighting in the area of El Isra, over in the north or northern part of Gaza City. There is continued report about fighting in the east of Zaytun, but this is really weird, but we shall see how this goes. So with the Israeli forces continue to try to encircle the entire of Gaza, but as you probably would know by now, if you have saw the previous SITREP, this does not look like a very massive change, with main change over at this area in the southern part of Gaza or southwestern part of Gaza. This is the main change, and maybe in the northern part. Otherwise, the Hamas forces has been really successful in holding back the Israeli forces all around the northern front, and then in the southern front they are a bit less successful. So this is why they are trying to attack from the rear to try to cut them off, and if they can cut off the Israeli forces, then these entire forces will be encircled and can be destroyed if they try. So this is the current situation over in the front line. I don't want to go into the specific details because it's probably you are not interested. So you can actually check out this map yourself and look at the source yourself in the description below. The mapping is on the DPA website. And while this is the main front, in the southern part of the Gaza Strip, there is some fighting reported in the east of Khan Yunis, where the Israeli seems to have did some probe in the eastern part of Khan Yunis, and also in the eastern part of El Fukari. So there's some fighting reported in this area here, and the Hamas forces, the Al-Quds forces, whatever forces they are called, they are actually engaging them with RPGs, which they have their own name for it, which is kind of, yeah, I was just going to call them RPG. So in terms of the battle situation, in how the fighting looks like in the Gaza Strip, basically the Israeli are using bulldozer to basically bulldoze away a path that they can feel entirely safe from IED, and then in multiple every distance, maybe I think a few kilometers distance. Let's see, maybe every kilometer they will have one stronghold where they actually use the bulldozer to create a round dune or a base or operation base where they can set up defensive positions. So for example, they enter in, they will build up a defensive position around here, then they can go on again, build another defensive position, and this is how they can spend the night. So they can have this all-round defense and try to defend in all directions, and then they try to attack, and then they can build another one. So this is how they operate, and they use bulldozers basically do bulldoze everything, buildings, trees, whatever, to prevent ambush, IEDs and whatnot. And this is probably really clever, because I would feel that the Hamas would have prepared a lot of booby traps for them. So this is actually quite a clever strategy. But the Hamas themselves have their own strategy, which is actually appearing in the rear positions through tunnels and then firing pot shots at the Israeli forces using RPGs or rifles. Some of them went like a suicide mission. They run to the tank and place a charge on the tank to destroy or disable the tank's defensive mechanisms. And that might have been successful because there are reports of tanks being destroyed. Hamas also released a lot of footages of them firing RPG at the tank or armored vehicles, but those footages are not indicative that the armored vehicle has been destroyed, because the armored vehicles is meant to be armored, and so that doesn't necessarily mean that it will be destroyed with a single RPG shot. So that is important to note. So definitely there are losses on the Israeli side, but it's definitely not the way how Hamas might want to put it out to be. So Hamas also have a mortar system. So for example, they have all these gathering, they will actually fire mortar into barrage of mortar into them, and then they will just run away, maybe back into the tunnel systems. And this is continued to be a problem and for the Israeli forces. And all this does not only within the front line, but sometimes it happens within the rear positions for the IDF, and they have to deal with all these things. And even the bulldozing part is not particularly complete, because this is a massive area. Just imagine a person walking to clear up and desertify the entire area is actually quite difficult. And even if they try, you can see from footages, just behind the trees, Hamas fighters just suddenly appear. They appear from here, then they just run over and then fire some shells and RPGs at the Israeli forces, and then they can run back to their tunnel and then just disappear. So, and then just disappear from here. So this is the kind of situation that the Israeli forces are facing, and the Hamas forces is definitely very, very well prepared. So to call them not an army, I think is also a discrediting of the amount of effort that Hamas have put into building up their military. But again, while the propaganda footages, the pre-war videos that they have produced clearly shows that they are prepared, and they are prepared, and they know that this war that they started is going to happen, which is why they have already prepared all these propaganda footages, which they wear wear military uniforms. But in actual fighting, they do not wear military uniforms. They actually just wear normal shirts with jeans, and then they just run out. So that's usually what they do. Some say that they might be wearing the bandana that which identify who are they, but I don't think they actually do that. That is actually for propaganda purposes. In actual warfare, they want to look as civilian as possible. So especially there's still a lot of civilians that refuse to leave the Jabalia camp. They refuse to leave Gaza City, probably in the area of Al Israel as well. Shifa Hospital, all these areas here is still full of civilians. This actually complicates the operations for the Israeli, so probably this is also done on purpose. The Palestinians also do not want to give the Israeli an easy time. Anyway, thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe, and yeah, you can find this map in the DPA's website, in the description below, and I'll see you in the next update.